Logizomai in the classical Greek, the Attic Greek, it is used for evaluating the price of something or to charge a debt, or in determining the price of something with currency, according to the standard of currency. It is also used to conclude from information available, but it's objectively philosophical thinking, non-emotional thinking, non-subjective thinking. But in the LXX, the Septuagint, about 200 years before Christ, as you recall, the Septuagint is the Greek version of the Hebrew scriptures. A lot of these 70 Hebrew scholars got together in Alexandria. They saw that the Jews were becoming very Hellenized, Greekized, and they said, we're going to have to write the scriptures in the Greek. And this was a wonderful thing that they did, because now we get to see how the Greek changed 200 years before Christ. And what Greek words they considered to be apropos for the Hebrew words, such as logizomai in Isaiah 53. We'll see that later. In the LXX, it acquired a sense of emotional, subjective, and volitional thinking. Hence, we have such translations as to suppose, to deem, to judge subjectively. It was also used in the LXX to plan evil, to devise a plan, to scheme. It was also used for, so it could have been a neutral plan, an evil plan from humans, or a good plan from God. It was also used for something reckoned to your benefit, imputed to you, accredited to you, such as in Genesis 15:6, Psalm 105, verse 31, and Psalm 31, verse 2. In the New Testament, by this time in the Koine Greek, the Bible was predominantly written in Koine, even though there's a lot of Atticisms, such as men they. Where is men they? Blah. I can't find it. Well, here, men they. On the one hand, on the other hand, this is Attic Greek. It goes back to the 5th century BC. Okay. So in the New Testament, logizomai has all these meanings except the commercial meaning, the financial meaning I explained. Hence, it is often translated to account, to take into account, to conclude, to impute, to suppose, to deem, or to make a proposal after collecting the facts, such as we have here with Paul. This is going to be translated, I propose. I purpose is pretty good too. So yes, this is the present tense, and this is the descriptive present. Him, at this moment that he's writing, he's already formed the conclusion that he's going to use his authority if they do not snap out of their negative attitude. The active voice, this is passive in form, but active in meaning. We call that a deponent verb, deponent. And the indicative mood is declarative. For the reality of Paul, he's not going to hold back in using his authority. And Paul does back up the gift of apostle. He does back up the gift of pastor. He can make words come with special power to the point that they can tear someone apart if necessary. The demons have this power as well, very limited obviously, but they use it for Satan's cosmic system, for evil. They use it to disencourage believers who are positive. They can often add power to a negative believer's words, or an unbeliever, or any person. They can add power to a person's words so as to hurt the person and disencourage him. Any little stupid comment. Oh, ¿y por qué no te has casado? Why haven't you gotten married? Boom. That will come with special force. Oh, here comes the wimp. Oh, wow. That shouldn't be hurting me. I've been called wimp many times. But why does it hurt right now so much? Oh, it came with demon power. Well, God uses it for the purpose of his divine plan for good. A lot of the demon power was given by God, but demons rebelled, and they now use it for the cosmic system. God has given them the green light to go ahead and do whatever they need to do in the angelic conflict, so long as they don't break the rules, such as killing a person, such as several other things. But God is always in charge, making sure that nothing happens to us that is not part of his will. Okay, which I propose. This is the finite verb. And then we have the aorist active infinitive of tolmao. So I propose is the finite verb. You expect for the sentence to be complete, to have an infinite. You propose to what? I propose to sit down and do nothing. Well, at least you completed the sentence. I propose to do something. I propose to tolmao, to dare. Yes, it sounds redundant, but I'm just going to go along with the literal so you can see tolmao. This is the aorist active infinitive of tolmao, tolmeisai, and it means to dare, to be bold. And I'm going to go with the translation of to dare, which I propose to dare to use, just for now, okay? Let's see if how I can smooth it out. Which I propose to dare to use. And the aorist tense is a constantive aorist, collecting in one entirety the act of daring to use something. Here, his bold authority. The active voice, it's Paul. Paul himself knows what he can do, and he's going to use it if he has to. The mouse is about to become a giant. And the infinitive is complementary, complements logitsomai, which I propose to use. I'm going to do that. I propose to dare to use. Okay, now we have an articular participle of epi plus the accusative plural of these. We've seen what these is. These means someone or anyone. And the neuter is the, which means something, anything. When it has this little acute here accent, it becomes interrogatory. Instead of someone or something, it becomes who or what. Who thing, what thing. Here it is indefinite, an indefinite pronoun meaning some. It's called indefinite, but Paul's very definite about who these guys are. Those who are negative. Epi plus dinas is directional. We've seen epi plus the dative. Epi plus the dative means upon something. Epi plus the accusative here does have the same connotation, but it has more of directional, towards, upon. So it has become something like against. But it's not as strong as kata plus the genitive to be against or anti plus the genitive. But it does have a confrontational connotation here. How did I translate epi plus dinas? It is translated against. Yeah, I'll go ahead with against, which I propose to use against some. I want you to get that confrontational meaning. Against certain ones, and the accusative plural. Who are the certain ones? The negative Corinthians, those who are still influenced by the Judaizer teachings, legalistic teachings. They're all turned on Judaism. Judaism has become very popular, and these Greek Gentiles, what are they doing going to for observing the Mosaic law and all this? Well, they're still there in the Corinthian church. They're staying behind, while others are already prepared. They're advancing to gate 5 and beyond. Some, and then we have the articular participle of our word logitsomai. Tous logitsomenos. The articular participle explains here, well, the certain ones are the ones that produce the action of the verb because it's in the accusative, plural, masculine. Dinos is in the accusative, plural, masculine. So it goes with this. Dinos produces the action of the participle. Against those who, so this article of the participle, we're going to translate it as a relative pronoun. Those who logizomai something. Here it is subjective thinking. They formed a conclusion, and so we can translate as suppose or consider or judge in a subjective sense. They judge from their human viewpoint, from legalistic ideas. They say that Paul walks according to the sin nature, and their inclination towards Judaism, just because they see Paul preaching grace and saying that you do not have to become circumcised, saying that you do not have to observe the Mosaic law, that it's grace all the way. They say, look at this man. He's walking according to the flesh, rejecting the law. Again, these are Gentiles influenced by the Judaizers. Against those who consider us, and then we have the accusative direct object of egon in the first person plural, hemas. Who's us? It's Paul and his team, and you can also include everyone who teaches grace during this time. Let me just give you the semantics of logizomenos. This is a retroactive progressive present, something that began in the past and continues in the present. These guys who have been infiltrated by the Judaizers, they formed a conclusion in the past, they continue having that conclusion in the present. They say that Paul walks according to the sin nature. The active voice, the Judaizers, the Thenites, not the Judaizers, the Corinthians, influenced by the Judaizers, produce the action of the verb, and the participle is articular with its article functioning as the relative pronoun. Certain ones who consider us. And now we have the content of what they consider. We have the comparative conjunction here, comparative particle of hos. Consider us as what? And then another participle in the accusative, plural masculine, of peripateo. Peripateo means, pateo means to walk. Peri means around, walking around. So this becomes idiomatic for lifestyle, for modus operandi and modus vivendi. For us, we peripateo inside the divine power sphere. Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. Walk, peripateite, en pneumati. Walk by means of the Spirit. We walk inside the divine power sphere. But these guys say no. These guys walk according to the sin nature. Because we have kata plus the accusative of sarx, which means flesh. Flesh. Kata plus the accusative is the preposition of norm and standard. Kata plus the genitive is more of against or down from. Here, according to the flesh. And sarx is often translated people, bodies, the flesh of the bodies, the flesh with the sin nature, the flesh with a special emphasis on the sin nature, and many times just the sin nature itself. It's many nuances. Okay, according to the flesh, this is the argumentation. This is what they conclude. And they're going around saying, Paul, look what he teaches. He is walking in the sin nature. Well, what is, by way of application, what would the application for us be nowadays? You who are a grace person, you're learning Bible doctrine. Every day you're learning. You know, might not be doing much. The Christians around you are probably seeing you not do anything. They're getting busy. They're sharing the gospel. They're going around helping out, doing this, visiting people, doing that, being busybodies. And then they turn around and look at you and they say, oh, hermano, hermana, ¿qué pasó? Pues tiene que haber obras. You have to do some works. What's the use of accumulating so much doctrine inside of that stomach of yours if you're not going to exercise it? Such stupid comments such as these. I like the metaphors, but they use the metaphors for the wrong conclusion, such as here, these certain types. So you might be deemed or rendered as being one who's walking in the sin nature, a fallen Christian, just because they see you having a good time, because they see you laughing. Some Christians think that you should not be laughing or having a good time. The Lord Jesus Christ knew how to have a good time in his humanity. God himself has a wonderful sense of humor. They might think that you're carnal or walking according to the flesh because you know how to dance, or you know how to dress, or you have a wonderful sense of humor, or because you walk with confidence. Because, I don't know if you're a woman, because you walk very, very well, wear a nice dress and some nice heels, and you know how to do your things. So, but you could be very spiritual while you're doing that. And all the Christian ladies around who portray their fake spirituality by not wearing makeup. I don't think we do that here in Southern California. Or by speaking a certain way. ¿Por qué no dices hermano? ¿Por qué no me dices hermana? ¿Por qué no me dices Dios te bendiga? Why don't you call me brother or sister? All this Christianese that they think they must use. So stupid little things like that, by way of application, is what's going to make what usually makes people think that you're walking according to the sin nature. I don't know, maybe perhaps one day they did see you sin, and they were right that you did sin, but they're wrong in them assuming that you're walking according to the sin nature because you use 1 John 9, you recover right away. At that moment, you must apply the doctrine and not care about their false conclusions, such as Paul. Once you start not caring about what people think in the wrong areas, you have true freedom. There's no such thing as just completely not caring about anything. God does want us to care about the right things, such as demonstrating our light, the light of the gospel, not becoming a stumbling block, and such things as those. But about the stupidisms, the wrong things, we must come to a point of not caring what they think.